Hi everyone, today is 18th of June 2026 and we're already in the evening actually. I did want to review today's chart with you guys. I guess I again learned a lot after today, so just to kind of give you an impression of the things I was looking at today, the mistakes that I made, and I actually tried out some old tools. So this is going to be a bit of a shorter video, I suppose. All right, let's dig into it. So this morning we were actually looking at, well, currently we're looking at the yesterday's low. And then in the morning we started off bullish, and also really respecting these lines right here. So the sentiment was really bullish. We did have our daily range top right here, and as you can see, burn through a few positions right there. My thinking was actually that these lines were coming in, and that these lines would actually carry price over this the top of this daily range, since price is really strongly bullish in the morning. We had this great bullish energy going on, so I really expected price to basically push beyond the daily range. Okay, it did hit the daily range, but it then also reversed at the same time. So, and I was, being smart, getting in at all these points that that didn't work. In the end, this point kind of worked, but then the market turned against us. Okay, so basically looking at the low right there, and then also the price time path going up. This is the 1x path. So the 1x price and time moving at the same rate, at the same speed. As you can see, price is really moving above it, and here you can really detect this nice dip. And as I was actually working on yesterday's review, I kind of missed this entry point right there. So I got in the market around here, which was a bit inconvenient, but then I saw the market pulling back, and I thought this just was going to be a very temporary pullback, and then a continuation. It turned out not to be. Okay, so not much damages there, about 1 to 1.5% again. Unfortunate, but not a disaster, I suppose. And of course, I did kind of I was a bit confused, sure, because I really expected price to stay above this price time path. Okay, so it broke through relatively aggressively right there, and then it had a pullback, retested it, and then went down. And I wasn't really sure what was to happen here, especially since we had such a strong move. I actually wasn't expecting price to just retest this path and then move bearish. Okay, so yesterday and also previous days we were talking about how can we employ methods in order to see direction. This is still a hard thing for us to do. We still make a lot of mistakes in that. So, and that's when I decided to actually pick up my the white paper that I wrote back in March of this year. And it was actually a white paper about using Spacetime Mathematics on the market to catch highs and lows. And back then, I remember it worked most of the time, but not every time. And sometimes it wasn't clear, did it work? Did I pick the right top? Did I pick the right bottom? So I kind of left it in the drawer where I thought at the time it belonged, and just parked it there. Today I decided to take it out of the drawer and just make a few trials and see if I could, using this method, if I could actually catch these highs and lows, and also kind of get a more clear feel for direction. Okay. This was all in hindsight, just so you know. So this wasn't with foresight. Otherwise, I probably would have taken very different decisions. obviously. Okay, so the first thing we looked at was yesterday's low. And I like actually, having this kind of price action, because then you have a very clear marking in the market. So you're looking at a low, and I'm also looking at the low in this zone. Okay, and I was automatically then also looking at the high in this zone. So this is actually yesterday's price action, and I wanted to see if I can also use this method to not only catch today's high, but also kind of catch yesterday's low as well. Okay, so I kind of went back to find the high in this zone. So in this zone, this chunk of time between these two time separators, and I was able to find this high, and I just took that high as a reference. So what does this method do? A high or a low generates a price, and a price is basically some point on a circle, like on a wheel of 360 degrees. And so it generates a number for us. And this number we can multiply. And by multiplying this number and then also applying some space-time mathematics, this is basically some formula that was also used in Einstein's day, we can actually determine these price levels, so these extensions of that same price, and then also a vector coming out of those prices. And what you will see is that as time increases, space, or in this case time, in this case price, will actually decrease. Okay, so price basically collapses as time progresses. This is the idea behind the method. And back then I put it in the drawer because I didn't have the proper geometric context to place that method in. And I think I have advanced quite a bit since then. So I actually thought, I'd give it another try. So by taking this high and then taking the number resulting from this high, multiplying that, in this case, times 4, and then going out, we get this exact low. And you can say, well, that's a coincidence. Why do you have to multiply this 4 times? And these are all valid questions. To this, I don't know the answer. I truly don't know. And it's with a lot of these methods, I guess you can ask a lot of, also chicken and egg questions. What was there first? The geometry or price action, or was the geometry always there? Or, and these questions I can't really answer. Same for this method. So the space-time mathematics that I'm talking about, why does it work? I don't know. I just see the evidence, and I see that it works. Okay, like the empirical evidence, that was the word I was looking for, empirical evidence. Okay, so same here, we have this low that generates a number for us, and then we multiply this number, in this case by 2. If we then put this space-time mathematics vector on our chart, what do we get? We get a vector going down, then touching this point, or price touching that line, with a strong reaction there. Okay, so, and I kind of went back to yesterday, and I thought, let me just try the same thing. So we have this low right here, okay, and then from there I was trying to also see, okay, so where does my multiplication go? This is times 1. This is times 2, and from there I start the vector. Well, again, what do you know? It hits this exact top. From there it goes down. Yesterday we didn't get a break of this high, and I think that could have been a very good indicator that price would actually continue in a bearish direction. Since it didn't break this high in any way, so that could have helped us actually make a more informed decision. Okay, so same thing here, price drops, and from this high, we then take 1, 2, 3, 4, the multiplication of that number, we draw the vector, and we see we have an exact low there. From here, we take this exact point, this exact low, we extrapolated times 2, and we hit price exactly here. Okay, so I haven't done a full-fledged backtest since I simply didn't have the time, but I will try and actually employ this method for the coming days to actually see and kind of also prove, not just to you, but also to myself, that I can maybe, within this newly found geometrical context that we have, that I can actually employ this method and have a better feeling for, should we go short or long? Okay, so same thing here. We're coming down, and then we have this bottom. So this is today. Okay, so in this zone, we have a high. This is the high. This is my reference. I take it. And in this case, I also multiplied it by 4. I ended up here. I started drawing my vector from that point. Again, why 4? I don't know. I multiply it by 4 again here in this case. So I take this from this zone. So from this zones with these two. So the time between these two time separators, I take the low, get the number, multiply by 4, and basically I have to kind of imagine the path being there. I didn't draw it before, but this could actually also be considered a high. Okay, so and this high actually worked, and maybe probably it's now breaking, and this will make another low in this zone, and then I guess we can again tomorrow morning we can kind of start from the beginning. Okay, so we take this price, we extrapolate down to find our bottom. Okay, and from there we go, I guess, up, as long as we don't hit one of these vectors. That's kind of my hypothesis right now. Okay, cool. So guys, thanks so much. We lost a bit again today, but I think it's fine because we're on a very good learning path, I guess. The geometry really helps us to put a context. Also, these time separators, they really help us to put a geometrical context on our chart. And now adding this extra mathematical layer to the chart, I think today could have really helped us make better decisions. So also here we could have had a buy decision. Again, here we could have had a sell decision. And also on the top, especially here, this was of course amazing. And I'm really hoping that in the next few days we can get similar results. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope to see you next time. And as always, take care, keep trying, and keep searching for the truth. Good luck to you. See you next time. Bye.